Okay, so last thing I want to cover here is everybody will have, most people will have some kind of points of resistance, I'll call them, and they may or may not be handled during the time that I share the X39 slides with them. If I share how I feel about it, well, there's going to be less points of resistance and less objection. So points of resistance are natural things that we think about whenever somebody's talking to us about anything. We all have it. And that can turn into an objection if we didn't hear, oh yeah, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. Okay, so if I do a good job sharing the feeling, how I feel about it, remember that's what we're doing. We're transferring the feeling, not doing a presentation, transferring the feeling of how we feel about this. If we're good at that, then we get to the end. The objections will be less. And the goal is for them to be none, hopefully, but you get them. I still get them. You'll probably still get them. Okay. So one of the probably fall back kind of ones that people like to use as well, I don't have enough money or just not in the budget right now or something like that. Translation: Tim, you didn't make this important enough for me to place a wholesale order. Because remember, I'm not talking about the business. I'm just talking about placing a wholesale order. That's it. Because these patches are so good for them. They need this X39. That's what I've been trying to convince them of, okay? So if I didn't do a good job doing that, then I might ask them, kind of bring it back on myself. I can appreciate that. Man, I've been there. So let's say they're talking about the 535 package, okay? The advanced package. Man, I've been there. I get it. I know how you feel. I felt that way too, and here's what I found. I remember one time my transmission went out. Whatever story is real for you. I remember one time my transmission went out, and I didn't have the money to get it fixed. I had to find the money to get it fixed. What happened was I figured out a way out of necessity. And so I apologize that I didn't really do a good enough job explaining how important this X39 is for you and your family. So back to that 1 to 10 thing, or maybe I haven't explained 1 to 10 yet. If this was free, like most people are like, yeah, I'd like it if it's free. But if this was free, I wouldn't use it. Or 10, man, I want the premium. I'm ready to go. I got the money. I'm ready to rock and roll. I want 20 sleeves of these X39. Where do you think you're at on that? Oh, well, I'm actually a 6 if I had the money. And then you can start working on it. Now, by the way, it could be a real reason, such as, well, we're behind on our rent and we couldn't even buy formula for our baby this week. That's a real reason, okay? So you want to handle that gently and maybe, just encourage them, pray for them and say, you know what, why don't we catch up in a month or so or whatever. Let's just stay in touch and I'll send you some stuff. Because if that's the real situation, then it's a real situation. There are those. That is way the exception, not the rule, though. Most people are just saying, you haven't convinced me that this is worthy of me placing this order. So that's what I need to work on. I need to go back to these other videos, watch that, and figure out which pieces I missed, and did I do a good enough job telling them how excited I am about this X39. That's where we need to start.